Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Anastasia, and today I'm going to be showing you how I make my specialty pages in my bullet journal. I'll be letting you know like what my specialty pages are. That was my dog Lolo. She's right here next to me. I'll be letting you know what my specialty pages are. I will be sharing with you how I make them, the materials I use, and any inspiration, how I get my inspiration, and I'll be sharing those links in the description below. Today we're going to be starting with the wish list. This wish list is for me personally. It will not include any gift items or things for other people. After I erase very lightly the outline of what I'm going to have up there, I'm going to go in with this mild liner right here. It's kind of like a pinkish red color, and I'm just going to trace over my pencil marks from earlier. The reason I am making a wish list in this journal is because I seem to want things all the time if it's not my birthday or Christmas. And I truly struggle around those times of year telling people what I like. And so I have to make this wish list because I do want things all the time. But unfortunately, when I'm asked, what do you want, I stall like a bad car and can't tell them anything. So this is for me to write down what I want. That way when somebody asks, hey, what do you want me to get you for your birthday or Christmas or Easter or whatever, I can tell them, ooh, I would like blah. The reason the first line is orange is because I thought that that was going to be more of a corally color, and it was not quite what I wanted it, so I ended up going with a yellow mild liner pen. And here I'm freehanding my lines. I really tried to freehand it in such a way that was more steady than it is, but I actually have hand tremors, and sometimes I struggle so much with making straight lines. So I was actually having a pretty rough day with my hand tremors while making this, and so I will actually come in here in a minute and use a ruler as a straight edge because no matter how hard I tried, I just could not get this as straight as I wanted, and it ended up just looking kind of weird. So, but I'm filling in my lines as I go, and I will be using every line. It's just I'm separating every other line to make it a little bit easier for me to read as I'm writing it down. Here I'm going in with my ruler and making everything straight, and doing my best to color it in as well. I go back a little bit and touching up small parts where I was unable to fill it in completely with just one stroke of my marker. I got these markers as a Christmas present, but you can find them on Amazon or even in Walmart or Target. They're actually really easy to find. I got a full set for Christmas on Amazon, but you can find smaller sets in Walmart and Target and probably any craft store as well, although I haven't looked for them in craft stores. And here I am going in, filling in some more. The inspiration for this page is just kind of something I made up on my own. It's just a very basic title with lines separated into sections. So it can be very versatile. You don't have to make a wish list out of this particular layout. It can be really anything. It can be, I've seen people do invoices with their small business for this. I've seen people make weekly shopping list and other gift lists. I've seen people use this as like a federal holiday and birthday page. So you can really use this for a lot of different things with just a title and the structure of a page. I'm still going in and filling in. It actually took me a while to do this page because of how much I wanted the ruler to just be very, I just wanted the lines to be really exact, and you see there that I messed up, but it's okay because this page is just for me, and this book is just for me. I bumped my camera so much during this video because I hit my face against it and I hit my shoulder against it, so if you see it moving a lot, it's because I either bumped it or, I shook the table a little bit, or Lolo shook the table. And so if you see the camera shaking, I do apologize for that. And as I finish up these lines, I'm still going to be using my ruler for this next step, but I'm going to divide it all into sections where I will tell you how I write out my wish list to make it easier for me to tell other people. I'm going to go in with this Pigma Micron pen at 0.5, and I'm going to divide off into sections. This section is just one square dot, and that is a checklist. So the checklist is if I got it or not. That way I don't accidentally ask for an item twice or receive an item twice. And then the item will go right next to where the check mark would be, And then after you write the item, there will be a place for details because there is a lot of space there. So you can write things such as where it should be, where it should go, if it's clothing, what size, what color, where to buy it from, and then there's a place for price. I went in with a little bit of washi tape on the bottom. There's not a lot of room for decoration here, but I still wanted to add some colors. And then I'm going in with a brown acrylograph pen, and I drew a branch. And then with this red acrylograph pen, I am going in and drawing some leaves. Next, with this peach acrylograph pen, I am going to draw a half circle. And then I'm going to go in with my brown and red acrylograph pens again and touch up what I did. I didn't really know I wanted a half circle there until after I drew the branches. So I just went in and touched up the little details and made it all nice and cute and pretty. Already, even after recording this and drawing out the page, I've added several items to this wish list, so it's already coming in handy. Next, I'm going to do a wish list for my husband, and it's not really more of a wish, it's less of a wish list, more of gift ideas, because he will say that he wants things throughout the year, and then when it comes down to his birthday and Christmas, he is like me, he will say that there's not much that he wants, or he can't think of anything that he wants or needs or anything like that, so I am going to make a gift idea list for him, and I'm going to fill it in as he finds things that he likes. His name is Charlie, or at least I call him Charlie, and he likes darker tones, so this page is going to have more of a masculine, darker tone, because that is just the colors that he likes, and I wouldn't want to give him a very pink, frilly page if he were to ever have to look at this. You can kind of see how some of the letters are shaky. Again, that was, my hands were having tremors, pretty rough, so the title did not quite turn out the way I wanted it to. I drew the title in a brown acrylograph pen, and then I'm going to go in and draw boxes with this reddish mild liner, and after erasing everything that I needed to, I went back in with my ruler and just drew over every line of dots, and I'm going to do that all the way down the page. And I'm going to go back and draw the edges on some of these as I go down to make sure that I don't accidentally put the edge on the wrong side and create a very confusing box. But it'll serve the same purpose as the last page, and it will have a very similar layout. Again, this layout can be for multiple things. I'm just using it for gift ideas and a wish list for myself. Again, we're going all the way down the page with this. Sorry for that pause. I think Lola was doing something weird in that moment. She does very strange things while I'm trying to record, and sometimes I have to stop and tell her to not do whatever she is doing. I think one time I was recording and she grabbed her food bowl and ran into the kitchen, and because we're in an apartment building at this time, our kitchen with the floors that they have you can hear almost everything in the apartment down below, and so when she grabbed her very loud food bowl and slammed it up against the kitchen floor because she wanted to play, I had to actually stop the recording. I don't think it was in this video. It was possibly in my next one that I had to get up and tell her to stop. Because sometimes she's very playful and sometimes it's just not playtime. But she's a great dog, and I love her. But here I am still going all the way down the page. And I think I have filled in only a couple items on this page so far. And with my husband's birthday coming up very soon, I will probably end up buying those 2 items because they're the only 2 items on the list. But I'm going to go in next with the Micron pen, the same one as the last page, and I'm going to do very similar. I'm counting my dots here to make sure everything is on the right line. I know the other one is 1 square away, and these are 4 squares away. So straight down, I'm going to draw a line, and then I'm going to draw a line 1 square away, and then I'm going to put the same titles as the other side. So I'm going to have a check mark, item, details, and price. And it will serve the same function as the other page. I will write down whether or not the item has been bought, what the item is, details such as where to buy it, what size, color, things like that, the price. And to add a little bit of color, I'm going to add just a little bit of washi tape just to make things pop a little bit. next we're going to move on to a page that I think is very, very important. It is an address page, and it's not going to have very many slots for addresses, but I have a rather big family, and we're all getting a little bit older, and we are all moving different places. So I think an addresses page works very well. I'm going in with this white acrylograph pen, and I'm writing the word addresses. And this one actually turned out really well. I was thankful that my hand tremors weren't too bad on this one. And I'm just going in and tracing out where I'm going to let my, where I'm going to color in parts of my letters. And I actually put down a piece of craft paper. This craft paper did not come from an Archer and Olive notebook. It actually came from just a craft notepad that I found in Walmart. And it's really great. And it's served a lot of purposes. It's a little bit thicker, so I would be wary of that if that's something that you are hesitant about. But it is a great craft notepad to just tear pieces out of and put down. I was able to glue it down with the Tombow adhesive I used in my last video. I will make sure to link all of these products down below. After going in with the white acrylograph pen, I am going to erase the outlines of where I have it kind of sectioned off in brackets, as you can see. And I'm going to go in with my ruler, my straight edge that I've been using. And I'm just going to use the Micron pen that I have been using, and I'm going to write in name, phone number, city, street, address, things like that. And once I have all of that down and kind of measured out to where I want it, I am going to repeat that process for every single one. This is kind of freehanded. I don't really count squares on this one, so the next page might look a little bit different than this one, but only by a couple of squares on each one. It's still the same basic layout. And once I get everything down for the first address box, like I said, I'm just going to repeat the process for every other address box. The reason I have this page because I just have a lot of people in my life who move pretty often or have moved, and they have new addresses, and so if I ever want to send them anything or write them a letter, I need their address, or even if I need to go visit them, I need their address. So this is going to help me keep up with those, so that way I'm not having to ask over and over again, hey, where do you live? Because that can get kind of awkward if you've been there a few times. I haven't unfortunately been able to visit anybody in a while due to COVID. But I am really hoping that that changes this next year, and this addresses page can really come in handy with being able to visit people. But yeah, I just really look forward to everything post-COVID, even if it doesn't come exactly with the new year. Later in the year will be just as fine as long as it ends eventually. I apologize for some of the background noise that's happening. Lolo was a little excitable earlier, and so I took her for a walk and we burned some energy. And yeah, so I'm just going through and writing everything as I see fit. In a little bit here, I'm going to make a mistake in the order. So I'm writing name, street, city. And in a minute, I'm going to accidentally write name, city, city. And I'm going to fix it with a jelly roll pen. I'm just basically going to write over the word city and let it dry, and I'm going to go back over it again until it doesn't really show through anymore, and I'm just going to write the word street right over it. Those pens are great because when they dry, they really write very well. So if you do make a mistake on white paper, they are wonderful for covering up those mistakes. And here I am writing the word phone, and under that I'm going to go through and write the word, or the abbreviations for apartment, and then I'm going to write the word state and zip for zip codes. I have family, well, since most of my family lives in Mississippi, I do have a family that lives in Tennessee. My husband has family, what feels like all over the world. He has family in Virginia, California, even in Italy, and for a time he had family in Denmark. And so this address book is very good for me, and I also have a friend in Australia, so this section of my bullet journal, I feel like, helps me keep up with those people who are so spread out, who maybe because of time zone restraints, it's difficult for us to chat and text in real time. Thankfully, here it is. So now I'm going in with the yellow mild liner from earlier that I used on my wish list, and I'm just going to fill in the spaces next to the words such as name, phone, street, apartment. So it's one, I know where I need to write, and it also adds like a very nice pop of color to the page, and it helps just bring everything out. Once I do it for the first box, I'm just going to repeat that process for every other box. Don't worry if you make a mistake here, like if you take the yellow a little bit too far or not far enough. Again, if you're making this, it's for you. You're not making your bullet journal for anybody else unless you are doing it as a gift or as a commissioned piece. See, I messed up right there with phone on the last box on this page, and I'm probably going to go a little bit too close to the other page as well. But yeah, so I made a bullet journal for my mom, and that was the only time see, there's a mistake right there at the top. But that was the only time that I was really concerned about making things really perfect. But even then, I knew that even the little imperfections that couldn't be fixed were just evidence that it was a handmade thing, that I took time and the effort to make something for my mother. And it was, if you follow me on Instagram, you will see that I made an entire bullet journal for my mother, and throughout the year I will be uploading what those pages looked like. And I think I made it in about 2 or 3 months. It was cover to cover, full page bullet journal the whole way. So, and if you'll see that last box there where I had accidentally written name city, it is now corrected to name street city. And now we're going to add some decorations. That's going to include washi tape, more acrylograph markers and such. Right now I'm going to use the dark red acrylograph marker, and I'm going to color in a half circle. I'm still going with my boho theme, even though these pages, I consider them part of my yearly spread out, but to me they are specialty pages because this is coming after my yearly calendar. But I still want to follow the same theme because it's not quite to my monthly themes yet. So here I'm coloring in a sun with the peach acrylograph pen, and then I'm going to go in and draw some sunbeams with that pen. The nice thing about these pens is that they really do dry very well. It really takes a very small amount of time, and as someone who is left-handed, it helps that I don't have to worry about it smudging as easily. Now I do every now and again get a little bit of smudge on my hand, but I don't have to worry about it streaking across the page. If you look very carefully, I'm not sure if the camera picks it up, but there every now and again I will have something smudge just a little bit because I am left-handed, and we write in the English language, we write left to right. So every now and again my hand will accidentally drag and smudge the page a little bit, but it's something I've been able to deal with. It's nothing new to me since I've been left-handed my entire life. But yeah, I drew a little brown circle, and now I'm going in with the red acrylograph pen. I'm drawing some details around that, and I drew a rainbow over there. I really like the boho rainbows that are like different colors, and they don't prescribe to a lightest to darkest necessarily color scheme. They're just kind of like colors that look good together in any order, and I just love those rainbows. So I'm adding some detail to the sun, and now I'm adding a little branch with some leaves to this half circle over here. And honestly, I really like the way this page turned out overall. I thought it looked really cute. I didn't have many tremors during this page. I had a little bit, and there were some imperfections here and there. But again, this is for me. This is, as much as I enjoy showing you guys a product that is very, with as little imperfections as possible, I know that nothing in this world is perfect, and I want everyone to see that you don't have to make a bullet journal look super Instagram worthy all the time in order to have a bullet journal that you can enjoy and that you can find joy in creating. It just has to be something for yourself, and this page to me accomplishes that, and I really love the way this page turned out. Next, we're going to move on to a savings page. Now, I know savings and money can kind of be a taboo topic for some people, so I'm going to say very little about the money aspect of it and tell you why I, just me, personally, have this page. I, as mentioned earlier, always want something. There is always something, whether it's very little, it can be as small as a $2 object, or it can be something like the latest, newest technology thing that can very easily these days be well over $1,000. For these things, obviously, I'm not personally in a position where I can just go out and buy these without thinking about the repercussions of a bank account. This is because I have a husband, I have a dog who does have needs. I do have to take her to the vet for her checkups. If something happens, we have to take her to an emergency clinic, and that could be costly. We have an apartment, we have things such as food, gas, stuff like that has to be paid for, bills that have to be paid for. And so I can't just go out and buy something without consulting my husband. That is not to say I ask him for permission for every little thing. I am saying that as a family, we just don't go out and buy things that are considered a luxury item without consulting the other person, especially if it's at a luxury price. And he does the same with me. That being said, we like to keep savings, both in cash and in our bank account. So that way, if something happens, we have resources available to us. I understand this is not easy for everybody to do. There are many people who say that saving is really, really hard for them to do. But I'm not going to give monetary advice, but if you are a person who decides that saving is something you really want to try to do, this is a layout I think will work for you. I have every month laid out, and I had tremors while writing those months, so they're not as pretty, but I have every month, and at the end of every month I record how far up I go in my savings. And then I track it with the goal there, and I used washi tape and the acrylograph pens for decorating. Moving on to job hunting. Now this page is hopefully something I get to use this next year. This last year, I was unable to start the career I really wanted due to COVID. That being said, this page is very blank because it's basically going to be an open concept page where I can write ideas, prospects, things like that. So it's just a title and some decorations. Next, we're going to move on to my followers pages. I didn't realize at this point that I had skipped a page, so there are two pages, a bucket list and a things to do in Washington, which is where I will be moving soon, the state Washington. And so those pages can be seen on my Instagram probably after this video goes up, so keep an eye out for those. This Instagram followers page, at the time of me recording this video, I have 288 followers on my Instagram. Fluctuating, 1 or 2 followers, because some people follow and unfollow. So my goal by the end of 2020 is to have 1,000 followers. I really, really hope I can accomplish this, and I really need your help to do it. So if you know somebody who likes my YouTube channel and has an Instagram, or a Facebook and has an Instagram, because all of this stuff is also, my Instagram's connected to my Facebook, and while I'm not going to link my Instagram and Facebook together, my Instagram is public. So if you know somebody who loves bullet journal content, please send them over to my Instagram or this YouTube channel so that they may, so that they can just get acquainted with my stuff, I guess. I can't really think of my words, but yeah, there's a posting schedule, ideas, and at the time of me drawing this, I think I had 275 followers, so that's just me filling it in. But yeah, it's a bar and it goes up like that. Now this is a page very similar to that, pretty much almost the same as my savings page with the bar. And it is my YouTube subscriber page. Now my hand was trembling really, really bad during this, so this title does not look pretty, you guys, so I'm sorry about that. But again, it's just another example of remind yourself that your bullet journal is for you. and you can see my hair getting in the way because I was trying so hard to not have my hand shake, and I was thinking that maybe if my head was closer and I watched my hand, I could get that done, but obviously that's not how it works. So I'm going to write ideas and an upload and posting schedule. This is something similar to my last page. It's very open concept. I haven't laid out my posting schedule yet, but I'm hopefully going to upload on Fridays. I don't really know a time quite yet, but hopefully YouTube, Fridays, at least every 2 weeks, if not once a week. So yeah, and I'm not going to set a goal quite yet because I don't know how this YouTube channel is going to go. But it's an adventure, and I'm very, very excited. Thank you so much for watching me and how I make my specialty pages. If you have any questions about anything or have any comments or anything you want to let me know, just write it down in the comments below. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for coming to my channel. If you like this material, if you want to see more of how I create my bullet journal throughout the year, please subscribe. The little roofs you hear are my baby Lolo. This is my baby Lolo, and I love her so much. If you want to see more of Lolo, or you want to see more of my bullet journal content, please subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in a couple of weeks. Bye!